You guys ready? You know what we do here, right? Clap it up, baby! Oh, we're sweeping the place. Sweeping the place on this Sunday. I better put that right in the back right spot because my wife's going to get really mad at me. But we'll worry about that later. OU sweeps Texas. A 9-8 win that I had to catch my breath. You had to catch my breath. Wow, what a thrilling way to end the series. Oklahoma finds a way, and that's going to be the theme of the video today. They found a way. Even when it looked great, it didn't look so great. Oklahoma finds a way to beat Texas on Sunday. They sweep it, baby. Let's go. 9-8 win over those dirty, hated Longhorns. All right, drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Yes, we'll get to Patty Gasso's decision, get a video clip of her, but let's mention how it got to that point because there was a lot of good once again today. Oklahoma was up 8-0 after 3 innings, and I think we were all thinking the same thing, like, dang, this is going to be an easy Sunday afternoon. We're going to sweep this. We're going to run rule this, and it's just going to be an easy Sunday. 5 innings, no big deal. Well, it certainly looked that way. Ella Parker hits a 2-run home run in the first inning. That was a big way to start off this game, which, by the way, side note, if we're getting the best version of Ella Parker, it takes this offense to the next level, and everybody's really, really in trouble if the best version of Ella Parker is about to show up. And now that's back-to-back games with the home run. She had 2 hits today. She's really starting to turn it on, even though she's got some injuries going on. Gabby Garcia, geez, I mean, she's one of the best freshmen in all of college softball, maybe the best freshman in all of college softball. She hits the 3-run home run in the second inning, and it looked like a rout, guys. It was a rout. The Mike White sad face, angry face was going on, and Oklahoma led this thing 8-0 after 3 innings. But as quickly as it felt like they got up 8-0, it was 8-8 very soon after as well. So that's a big conversation of today's game. What was Patty thinking? Yeah, she's the GOAT. She made a terrible mistake in this spot. If you haven't seen it already, here is Patty's explanation as to why she took out Isabella Smith after the 3rd inning.
You may be wondering, but we really have to give our pitchers opportunities, and that's what we did. And didn't go exactly the way we wanted it to, but we knew when we needed how far we would go. And I really wanted to see Peyton in there. I'm so sorry. I wanted to see Peyton and Audrey. That's something Coach Rocha really wanted to see, is that our pitchers get an opportunity. We need a staff. We need a staff going forward. So it was a tough trial on them in a big atmosphere, but they had to feel that, and they have to feel how to do it without nerves being in your way, because that's exactly what happens when you are locked in and you just let things go and you don't get caught up in your outcome and what every pitch is doing. You just kind of trust your stuff and you just try to clear it all out. When you do that as a hitter, as a pitcher, as a defender, you can't be stopped. It's just hard to do. It's hard to do in front of a sellout crowd. I will not regret, we do not regret bringing in these pitchers because they need this work. So proud of Sam closing, and I loved what Bella did. We wanted to give her one time through the lineup. We knew what we wanted to do so that you bite off a piece but not, fill you up too much. So I was really pleased with that.
So I totally get Patty Gasso's thinking in that spot. It's, hey, Kirsten Deal threw really well for us yesterday. Here's Isabella Smith giving us 3 innings, just the 1 hit, the 1 earned run, no walks, and a strikeout as well. But this is about building towards the future. This is about winning the Women's College World Series. We need to get Audrey Lowry some innings. And I thought that was mainly what it was about. You didn't get Audrey Lowry any innings against Texas. You'd like to put her in that spot. And I don't fault Patty Gasso at all for what she did in that spot. Like, hindsight, you could say, what a terrible decision. She put this team in jeopardy of sweeping the series, all that. I think it's very easy, hindsight, to say, gosh, she's the GOAT, but what a terrible decision. Well, I know exactly what she's trying to do there. She's trying to get Audrey Lowry innings because, well, she had a rough outing against Mississippi State. You want to put her back out there. One, see how she performs. Two, hopefully she pitches well. She gets some confidence here moving forward. You feel even better about your pitching staff. So I totally get and understand and actually even agree with what Patty Gasso was trying to do in that spot. Because, hey, Isabella Smith gives you 3 innings. That's awesome. She was great. There's no guarantee that she's going to give you 3 more awesome innings. And maybe she would have, but that's not a guarantee. I think probably the plan all along was to get Audrey Lowry 1-2 innings and then let Sam Landry close the door. And it's a lot easier to put in Audrey Lowry in that spot when you know you got Sam Landry behind everyone who can get us out of trouble and who can go and get us safe. So I actually, with the move at the time, totally agree with Patty Gasso. The thing is, and this happens with being a head coach at times, it just doesn't work out. It doesn't always work out. It didn't work out today with Audrey Lowry. She didn't get an out, 4 hits allowed, 5 runs, 1 walk. She's a true freshman being put in some tough spots. Very interested in kind of what her role is moving forward for sure. Peyton Monticelli comes in, gets an out, gives up a couple of hits. But when you needed Sam Landry to come in, she came in 3 2/3, 1 hit allowed, 2 earned runs, gave up the 2-run home run, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. She actually ends up getting the win, and she's 17-3 on the year. So I'm sure that there will be some that's critical of Patty Gasso in the comment section. And, hey, that's what happens. I'll say this. I totally agree. Even hindsight now, the decision that was made at the time, trying to get Audrey Lowry more innings, Audrey Lowry more innings, taking Isabella Smith out, knowing that if she gets in some real trouble, we've got Sam Landry who can help us get out of a jam. So, with that too is if you're one of those that is critical of Patty Gasso for this decision, remember, she's the GOAT. She's won 4 straight. She's won a lot of national championships. I think that she knows what she's doing. I think that she knows what the overall goal is for this team and this program. But let's just say, let's just use terrible decision, Patty Gasso. What are you doing? This team blew an 8-0 lead. They did. They blew an 8-0 lead. It was 8-8 in the top of the 5th inning. And you know what? They still found a way to win. So even with the bad of today, can the bad not even be more impressive? You're up 8-0, and then all of a sudden it's 8-8, and yes, you're at home, but you've got no momentum in the place whatsoever. All the momentum is in the Texas dugout, and you still find a way to win? You found a way to win today, and Sam Landry didn't even start the game. What if, with what actually happened in this series, what if I told you exactly what happened before this series? What if I said, hey, Sam Landry's going to start game 1, Kirsten Deal is going to start game 2, and Isabella Smith is going to start game 3. I know you're used to seeing Sam Landry start game 1 and game 3, but she's actually not going to start game 3. Katie's going to start game 2, Isabella Smith's going to start game 3, and oh, by the way, OU's going to sweep this series. If I would have tried to tell you guys that before the series, you would have called me the biggest homer on earth. Are you serious? Hey, we may like the videos and all that, but dude, you're the biggest homer out there right now. You probably would have. And that is exactly what happened this weekend. They won a game today, and Isabella Smith started the thing. They found a way to get it done, and that's what this team did this weekend. It got interesting on Friday, and they found a way to win. This team is really trending towards its best softball. They are peaking at the right time. Are they perfect? No. Were they perfect this weekend? No. Base running mistakes, defensive mistakes. Not all of your pitchers were great, though most of them were pretty good. And still, you found a way to sweep your biggest rival and a top 5 team. Even with the bad that happened this weekend, it makes me feel even better about this team. That they did sweep Texas and not everything was perfect. Like, the mistakes that they made that I go back and look at today and throughout the weekend, God, in like an odd way, it makes me even feel better about things. Oh, so it wasn't totally perfect and they still found a way to beat Texas? And when it's 8-0 in the 5th inning, I'm saying to myself, this series really hasn't been all that close. I mean, OU has completely dominated this series against Texas. Now, of course, it got close late, but OU pulls away. But there was no doubt, whether you watched 1 inning, 10 innings, 20 innings, all of the innings that happened this weekend, there was no doubt to you who the better softball team was. And I think going into this weekend, a lot of people would have picked Texas to not only win the SEC, but to win the national championship. And you hammered them. You absolutely hammered them. And now we go into Monday leading the SEC and a great chance to win the SEC regular season title. I'm just jacked up, guys. I mean, I was jacked up Friday night. I was jacked up Saturday night. I am really jacked up right now. And what I love is that I know you guys are jacked up with me as well, including some of my friends. Shout out to Victoria, Blake, Luke, Nafis as well. Great friends. They sent me a screenshot on Sunday morning that they were watching the show. Love the Nafises. They're great. Love all of you in the comments as well, showing all the passion, all the energy that you have for OU softball. Man, that was fun. You wait all year long for OU softball, and you really wait all year long for this time of the year, and this team delivers. All the doubts that you may have had throughout the year, and hey, this team didn't win the national championship today. They are not a finished product, but that was pretty good. Even the most negative Oklahoma softball fan, you got to admit, that was really good this weekend. OU sweeps Texas, and how sweep it really was. Let me see if I still have the broom here. I do. I'm serious. If I misplace this thing, you guys might not hear from me next week. My wife may be pretty upset, but I got to put this back in its rightful place. I really loved that Isabella Emmerling had the sac fly, essentially the go-ahead, the winning run there. Isabella Emmerling has caught a lot of flack, maybe more than any individual player in the comments. She's your best option at catcher. She just is, and I do think some of the criticism is warranted. I also think she has incredibly just shoes that she's trying to fill with Kinsey Hansen. It's a really difficult position. She's the best you got, and I love that Emmerling is at times making it up with her bat, and she did today with the sac fly to go up 9-8. So much to say. First off, there should be an exclamation point after this T-shirt right here. But OU gets after Tegan Cavon, don't they? They got after her on Friday night. They got after her again today. Just 2 innings for Tegan Cavon. 5 hits allowed. She had, 8 earned runs in the 2 innings? And that is important moving forward because might Oklahoma play Texas in the SEC tournament? Absolutely. They might play Texas in the SEC tournament. And 2 out of the past 3 years, you've played this team in Oklahoma City and you've played this team in the championship series. Tegan Cavon is Texas' best. Where is she going to be mentally next time she faces this OU order? Because I would guess that OU and Texas are at least going to play one more time this year. And I'm sure Mike White, the dork Mike White, will roll out Tegan Cavon again, but this OU offense has a ton of confidence going up against her. And what's her confidence level going up against Oklahoma? She is a very good pitcher. Man, she's a really good pitcher. I got a lot of respect for Tegan Cavon. The only hate I show towards Texas is actually towards Mike White. I really respect their program and their players and what they do and all that. Tegan Cavon is a really good pitcher. She just had a lot of trouble against Oklahoma, and that was big for this weekend, clearly. But I think it's also very important moving forward. Very important moving forward. And just so many hits, 10 hits again. What OU had, did they draw 8 walks today? I think OU drew 8 walks on the afternoon. God, I love that number. Cavon walked 4. One of their relievers gave up 4 as well. I like the 10 hits, but I like drawing the 8 walks as well. That's good at-bats. That's aggressive at-bats. It's just how it looked against Oklahoma State, how it looked in the series even before that, the aggressive at-bats, we can just tell. You can just see it when Oklahoma's at its best. And that offense right there, man, is really really good. I don't know if the product this weekend is good enough to win a national championship. I just know it's not that far off. And this team can be even better than what they showed this past weekend. 16-5 now in SEC play. They are peaking, and that was a statement. They made a statement. They made a statement to Texas. They made a statement to the SEC. They made a statement to everybody else in college softball. We are playing our best. Here we come. And it's bad news for the rest of the sports. Just happy, just jacked up. It's excited. Patty Gasso owns Mike White, but I guess she kind of owns everybody else in the sport as well. That did not look like the same team that lost 2 or 3 to Alabama. So I was hoping the Alabama series would be somewhat of a turning point in terms of, regrouping, and it certainly feels like it has been. They got put in front of a tough environment. They didn't have a great offensive weekend, but they've responded since then. They've won 6 consecutive SEC games, and offensively they look good in just about every single one. But that was a statement. Sam Landry gets the win. She's 17-3 on the year. And you fans were awesome all weekend long. We had Stripe loves Field. Of course, you were only good because the Texas Longhorns were in town. At least that's what Mike White would try to tell everybody. Just great. They found a way. It's up 8-0, tied 8-8. You find a way to win 9-8. Just great job all the way around. And, before I get out of here, I think the conversation we got to have now, and this is the most fun this conversation has been the entire season, certainly since SEC play started. Who's the number 2 pitcher now? Because Kirsten Deal had her best start of her entire career. Forget the season. I think she had the best start of her entire career. And Isabella Smith had her best start since the beginning of SEC play. So it feels like you've got options right now. I don't know exactly how Audrey Lowry fits into the picture. I wouldn't guess that they just totally abandon her in the circle, but I would guess moving forward, you feel good about Kirsten Deal as your number 2 pitcher. And Isabella Smith now, back-to-back appearances, she's fared pretty well in SEC outings. Maybe you feel like you can throw her in big spots as well. So this is the best I've felt about OU's pitching staff, even with Audrey Lowry not getting an out. And I believe just getting the 1 out against Mississippi State, this is the best I've felt about OU's pitching staff outside of Sam Landry in a while. I'll have confidence in Kirsten Deal next time she steps out there. I'll have confidence in Isabella Smith, whether it's a reliever or a starter or whatever it is. There's just so much good that came out of this weekend. And one thing that's good is that you swept, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. It can be better. This team can go back to work on Monday, and they've got things to work on. Base running, defense, other things as well. That's a great aspect of this weekend, and they'll be better because of it. But they're peaking. They just made a statement. I'm jacked up. You're jacked up. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you for watching. We'll talk next week. Just a couple of wins away from an SEC championship. I want to win the national championship. Of course I do. But I want to win that SEC title year 1 in the league as well. Awesome weekend. Glad to spend it with each and every single one of you. We'll see you down there in the comments. As always, thank you for watching.